Hey guys, welcome to Aeon Dream Studios devlog. This section is going to be all about echoes. So it's mainly her interviewing me. So I'm going to be talking about my involvement on the project, when I got on, etc., etc. We are wearing different clothes, sort of. Like, it's the same shirt, but we're wearing different clothes because we're recording this on a different day from the other section.
And it's better quality because I did better this time with aesthetics.
And it's better quality. So she has the interviewer pen. So she's gonna be the one asking the questions. Let me just, there we go.
You look so cute and innocent and, alright, so
she knows the truth.
Yeah, the truth is very similar but different. So basically Jackie wanted, this part of the interview is more for Jackie's sake than like mine, because Jackie wanted to talk a little bit about echoes, like with her involvement on it. So I wanted to give her that platform to talk about it on her own. And I developed some questions this time specifically for that part. So the subsequent parts will feature me just kind of talking about ADS journey as a whole, and we'll talk about echo some, but I won't go into detail. I'll let her do that for her part. So question number 1, can you explain how you came to know me prior to being offered the job?
So I had known Ajane for about a year before she offered me the job. I had been a fan of the Mystic Destinies series for about a year. So like I was a fan for almost a year, and then I was convinced to finally like approach him and say hi on Tumblr, and then we just hit it off from there. So we had been friends from that point on.
And that was about when would you say we became friends?
They became friends 2017.
Right.
Beginning of 2017.
So when did you join ADS?
The beginning of 2018. February.
So about a year.
5th. Actually, yeah, it's
On a
almost.
specific day.
It's been almost an entire year.
So what was supposed to be your role in ADS?
I was supposed to be a junior writer, so I was supposed to like help assist you and the other writer with your projects.
Was that supposed to be your role in Echoes as well? Doing Echoes?
Yes. Yeah.
Supposed to be a junior writer.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a junior writer.
Were you aware that you would be working on a separate team without me?
I
when you
did.
joined?
I don't think I did. Like, I mean, I was informed, like when you guys told me about.
Like when you got offered, like did I tell you then? I honestly don't remember. Like did I tell you then that you were going to be working without me or on a separate team? Like did you know that we had separated into 2 teams?
No, I didn't know at the time. You told me after I had already after I joined or whatever. Then you guys like told me the information, and that's when I found out. But like when you first approached me with it, like I didn't know, like immediately.
So did you have a problem with that?
No.
Working? Okay. Did you know that Echoes was delayed when you joined?
I'm pretty sure because I was in fandom, so I should have known by that point. I should have known by that point. Especially, I backed the Kickstarter, so I did know.
You forgot you finished the Kickstarter.
I forgot. I always forget.
Echoes backer.
I'm an Echoes backer. Every time I log into Kickstarter, it's like, hey, a project that you backed like has an update, and I'm like, oh yeah, that thing.
The game you helped.
That game I helped work on. Yeah.
Incidentally. Why did you think it had been delayed at that point in time? Like, did you know anything about its delays?
I didn't know. I just knew that it was delayed. I didn't know anything about it. I wasn't that deep in the fandom. I was just in my own little hole, so I didn't know much about it. And I was okay with it. I was just like,
you were okay with the fact.
Yeah, I was okay with it. I was like, stuff happens.
So did you pay attention, since you were a backer, and you didn't know it had been delayed, and it had been like a year. It's okay though. I will say I noticed that a lot of backers. $5. Okay, but still, did you get like emails or anything like that?
I may have, bro. I don't know. I probably have Kickstarter emails turned off. I probably have the notifications turned off. Like literally, I just backed it and like left it alone.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of people do that. So don't feel bad about it. Like there are people who are coming to me still from these campaigns and saying like, oh hey man, I backed this back in 2017. I didn't know you guys finished this game. Can I get a key? And it's like 2020. So it's normal for a lot of Kickstarter backers to actually just want to see a project succeed and then back it and then kind of let it go and then check it whenever they feel like it. Honestly, I'd be that kind of backer.
That's literally me.
Because it's just like, unless I'm really really excited for something in particular, but like if it's something, I would think that would be the same way. So that's understandable. Were you aware that there was negativity from former fans surrounding Echoes, like Echoes delay?
Echo specifically, no. I didn't know about that.
Did you know about any negativity in the fandom?
I mean, like with each update, there's always like those bad seeds that will pop up, and I just kind of like brush them off and ignore them. I didn't know that they were like long-term, like fans who were, bad seeds and like, they were whatever. I didn't know about that. I just was just like, oh, someone's saying this thing. Oh, they said some other stuff before. Whatever.
What kind of things were they saying?
Oh, just like talking negatively about like. I mean, everybody talks negative. A lot of people talk negatively about characters or like whatever other updates or whatever, and I just feel like just like whatever, man. Like if it's not to your expectations, just don't say anything. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Like it's not critique if you're literally saying this thing sucks. Like that doesn't help anybody. Like so, like every time I saw that, I was just like, whatever.
So when you accepted the job, then you must have had some expectation of what working on Echoes would be like. What did you hope it would be like when you joined the team?
I thought that there would be more brainstorming, communication, stuff like at that time. Just thought there would be like a lot of that team atmosphere kind of thing, because that's just what I'm used to and how I work the best in, I guess.
Great. So was it like that?
No.
So it ended up not being like that.
And it ended up not being like that.
Do you feel like you and I communicated well on the project's progress?
No. And that's not your fault, it's my fault. I did not.
Okay.
At the time, I was worse at communicating than I am now. So.
How involved were you in sharing updates to the fans?
Very. Every update and blog post that went out, like I would like read over and stuff, and like the whole team we would read over and look at and stuff like that. So I was involved in saying yay or nay to the updates to the fans, especially since I was giving out most of the updates. Regarding Echoes, I was like giving out the updates anyway, so it wouldn't make any sense for me to not be involved in that.
Did you ever intend to like intentionally mislead me or the backers?
No, never.
When you gave that information?
I never wanted to. Never wanted to intentionally mislead anybody. I was just going off of what I personally assumed and expected of myself at the time. But considering at the time, like I was definitely not a professional game developer, not a professional writer. Like a lot of promises ended up falling through because of that inexperience and overestimation of myself.
And that really happened for the whole team throughout ABS's time, like as being a team. Like I don't think that anybody ever had any bad intentions with being delayed, because I think every creator or artist can agree that they would want their project to be out as soon as they possibly could, rather than having it delayed for fun. I mean, anybody who like really likes to create and who isn't actually just trying to scam people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with the fact that we had Mystic Destinies, Serendipity Aeon's already out, it should have proven that we all had that intent, that we were there to make a game and we were going to try to get it out as soon as we could.
Yeah. Especially since I am also a fan, it was never my intention to just delay the game for no reason. I also wanted to see the game in its fruition, but overestimations and lack of experience came in the way.
So did the negativity of the fans at the time, like after you had joined, affect your ability to work at all?
Yes, it did. When I found out about those fans and I saw how they would react to every update, it gave me a lot of really bad anxiety. to the point where I was barely leaving my house. And it was bad. My family was concerned. They were pretty concerned at the time, and I was not able to write as well as I wanted to.
So why did you never leave the house?
I would want to hide from the world. Like yes, the negativity was on the internet, but when it gets ingrained in your head, it feels like it follows you everywhere. And I didn't want to leave my house because I just wanted to stay in my safe space, which is my bedroom. So then that's just where I stayed for as much as I could.
So you felt like that affected your ability to write echoes?
Mm-hmm.
Going off that, like a follow-up question, what do you think would have helped when it came to, well, at least the negativity? Like, would a positive environment have changed anything about the outcome?
Yeah. Honestly, it would have definitely helped, like, encourage me and make me feel less anxious, because anxiety can be really paralyzing, especially for me. So if I would have had, less of that, more of a positive atmosphere, more of something that was more supportive, especially from like the fan side, then it would have given me more motivation.
I think any artist could agree that obviously having a supportive environment to create in it's just like amazing and huge. That's why the fan creator relationship is like so amazing. It can be so amazing if it's positive.
Yeah.
So do you think anything else could have helped solve the problems back then? Like, for instance, like me coming on the team, or having another writer added to the team, like anything like that?
Definitely having more writing help. That would have helped. But mainly communication on my side, because I spent a lot of time not communicating the struggles that I was having while writing. So I ended up stuck in a rut that I tried to force myself out of. Having the combination of like more communication with you and the other writer, and maybe even having another writer on the team, that would have probably helped facilitate things a little bit easier. It's kind of hard to say looking back, but that's like my guess for now.
If you had to summarize it in a few words, how would you describe your experience working on Echoes?
In the beginning, it was like a dream come true because I'm also a fan. So it was exciting, and then it got very rapidly nerve-wracking because now I have the expectations of like the entire fandom on my shoulders. And then it got kind of disappointing by the end, mostly disappointed in myself because I wasn't able to actually finish it,
And, for my part, just saying that it wasn't my intention to ever put the pressures on her shoulders. It was always my intention for us senior writers to share that burden, and for her to just help like facilitate some script writing and stuff like that. So it wasn't, it got all tangled up in a bad way, but it wasn't my intention. The last question I have is, it's a statement, then a question. So people have made a lot of assumptions about you and your work on the project. I think, honestly, in reality, I think a lot of people don't even know that you worked on the project or don't really recognize how much you contributed to that version. So I released the original script from that team from 2018. 2018 was basically the year I didn't really work on Echoes myself. I left that to the team. That's kind of its own version of Echoes. So I released that script, and Jackie worked on that script a lot. And I don't think that anyone really knew because of the communication, for one. Because even I didn't know to the degree until I really got to sit down and talk about what we went through the script and talked about what she did. I don't think people knew that Jackie did as much work as she did. So I think a lot of people think that it was either me or like me and a former writer or whatever. So I want Jackie to be able to have a platform to address the assumptions that people made about her and her work on that project. Is there anything you'd like to personally say to those people?
Well, for starters, I am a fan. Like, I am one of the biggest fans of the Mystic Destinies series. I talk about it in real life, off the internet. I talk about it on the internet. I constantly bug her about it, like even back before I joined ADS, like I have just been like such a huge fan of the Mystic Destinies series. And all I ever wanted for the Echo series was to, for Echoes is just to, create a game that I would want to play. And while I was working on that, I, included a lot of scenes and dialogue that I personally would have liked to see. Basically, I wrote it from a fan's perspective. Like, I did originally write it from a fan's perspective, and I am happy that you kept a lot of the stuff that I included in the original script and in the original interactions and stuff. And I am really, really happy about that. And I just want to remind people, I was there from the beginning of 2018. I have been part of the team for that entire year up until 2019. I worked on Echoes. Echoes wasn't her. She didn't work on that first draft of Echoes. I worked on that, me and the other writer. So I know a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people didn't even know that I was there involved, apparently. But it's fair. That's fine. That's fair and fine, because I don't talk much on social media usually. So I'm kind of the invisible one, the quiet person, quiet part of the team. But I just want to apologize to everybody. I'm sorry that the first version of Echoes didn't come to fruition. I'm sorry that it turned out the way it did, because in my opinion, it wasn't the best writing that I could put out. And I'm really glad that you took over, in terms of the Echoes writing. And I also want to apologize to everybody for all those delays and for unintentionally misleading you guys as to how soon it would be finished. And I just really hope that you guys would give this version of Echoes a chance, because this is honestly the better version. This is what I wanted it to be. So that's all I could really say.
And I would like to just say once again that it wasn't my intention to make Jackie pressured, but it wasn't also my intention to try to make her apologize or to make her do any of that stuff. Basically, Jackie is her own person, and she's going to do whatever she wants, and I want to respect that and give her a platform to speak, because of the fact that she had been quiet and there had been a lot of assumptions made for her on her part. So Jackie, when I say she's quiet, she's not quiet. She's just anybody. Anybody knows introverts become different.
Yeah.
But when it comes to her work here, since she was new and less experienced, she was just really focused on what she had to do. And I just wanted to give her that platform now to talk about those things. To provide closure for herself, if nothing else. Yeah. So
I can be very tunnel visioned. So especially when I was working on Echoes,
yeah.
When I was working on Echoes, I was only focused on what I was supposed to do, what I felt I was supposed to do. So I didn't do a lot of the extraneous stuff, like talking on social media to be up too much. I didn't really talk to the other writer or to Ajane too much. I was just very focused on what I had to do, which didn't help because I was part of the team and you're supposed to communicate the team. So that happened. But as she said, I am very much my own person. I'm a very independent, hard-headed, stubborn, fiery person. So I made my own decisions the entire time. Not all of them were great, and I'm sorry for that.
It's learning, though. I think everyone needs to remember more than anything that we're all learning. We were amateurs at the time too. I'm only just now starting to feel after almost 5 years that I'm starting to figure this out. Yeah. So I think that the experience that she had was more for me starting out.
And personally, I think that it was a great learning experience because now, with my own personal stuff, my own personal writings, because, I'm a writer. That's it. That's why you hired me. I'm a writer. I have my own personal writings. It helped me improve. It's helping me with a lot of other stuff. So it was a valuable experience for me to go through, and I'm very happy for all of it. And I'm really grateful that you hired me at the time, because
I'm surprised.
it's a fan dream come true.
I feel personally
Work.
guilty that it went the way it did.
Okay, but
It was not.
But that wasn't your fault.
Everyone had a part.
Everybody had a part.
In the way that it went, because we were a team, so we all did have our part.
Yes,
we were on separate teams, but I was still the leader.
But still, fan stuff. that's how I explain everything. Every time I fangirl over stuff, she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Fan stuff." But yeah, I do look up to her as a writer and a game developer. So everything is a fan dream come true, including working on Echoes for that time that I did.
And additionally, I would like to say that she was, when we finally worked together for the first time in 2019 after I had went on hiatus, and she was really great to work with. She was just full of ideas, and she really gets the series, and her ideas that she created for Echoes were really solid, and I was able to use them. I don't know if I would have been able to create the version of Echoes that's out now without Jackie. I don't think I would have been able to do that, because she just had so many great ideas, and it helped get me out of the mental hole I was in, with the mental burnout hole I was in. Echoes, her enthusiasm helped me get out of that hole, and her ideas and creative, contribution helped me get out of that place and get to a place where I really felt like I could do this. I could become that writer that she became a fan of. So I'm grateful too. So I hope that the people watching this will understand, what we tried to convey here. I think a lot of the backers, like the majority of the backers, have been great to all of us the whole time, and I really hope that people can understand that we had the best intentions, and that everyone knows, I've had some fans already tell me they understand the creative process, and being a new artist and being a new creator and stuff like that. We have ambitions, we have intentions. They don't always work out, but that is a learning experience, and that's what being a part of that backer process is about. Sometimes there's ups and downs, and we just happen to have a lot of downs with Echoes, but I'm hoping we'll end it on an up.
Yeah. I am so excited for how Echoes is coming out. I love how it's turning out, and not up to date yet. Actually, I saw everybody talking about it. You didn't tell me about the update.
It works a lot, and I just try to do what I can.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
See, that's how we are.
That's why batching, communication.
You just work in our holes.
I think that's very common for writers, though.
Yeah.
But so thank you for watching this video, and I'm gonna follow up with another video about the journey of Mystic Studios from the beginning to now, to kind of really explain how the whole picture came about, basically. But hopefully this helped people understand a little bit more about that first script. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.